Welcome to Easy Math TV. I thought I would create a supplement video on all the other videos that I've been making so that you can see the difference in the Office 365 version of Excel. This is the one that a lot of students use. They, rather than installing Office on their personal computer, it's just easier for them to use it in the browser. So this is basically what Office 365, the Excel in Office 365 looks like. The ribbon at the top, though, you can switch back and forth between the default. So the default ribbon is this thin, narrow ribbon. And I prefer, because I have a larger monitor. I mean, if you have a big monitor, then this is helpful. I prefer to use the classic ribbon. So you can actually click on that up here under ribbon display options. So that's the first thing that I would recommend doing. And then the second thing is, so I just have some data that I randomly put in here, and column A and B, so we have an X and a Y column. And I just wanted to show you the difference in terms of like making charts and graphs and where you can find different elements that you're going to be putting on your charts and graphs in a math class, especially. So when it comes to math, you have all of your different scatter plot options here that are typical for any math class that's not statistics. So you've got the scatter plot with just dots, you've got the scatter with smooth lines and markers, you've got the scatter with just smooth lines where you're making, maybe a curve. And then even the scatter with straight lines and markers if you just want to show like the data that goes up and down, trends over time. So, all four of those options we've been using. I'm going to make a scatter with only markers. So there's my graph. So it actually shows, if you look at the dots, you can see that the relationship between my X and Y looks like it's a straight line. It looks like it's a linear pattern. But I'm not seeing I'm not seeing the same kinds of items up here that are in all my other videos. So you have to go to the Format tab, or the Format option. And, this kind of looks bare, but so you've got to like expand some of these just to see what kinds of things that they do. But the thing that we need is we need to add a trend line to this. So if you're going to add a trend line, you want to go under series over here at the right. Mine just happens to be labeled Y. The default, I think, if you don't have it labeled at all, I think it just shows up as series 1. But if you do have a label or you do have a heading at the top of your data, whatever that heading is, that will show up here. So you can actually type in a name, there's different things that you can choose to do. But to add the trend line, we just need to go down here where it's sort of grayed out, so it's hard to see. But we need to click on that radio button that says trend line. And then you can name it, in this case, it's just named linear parenthesis Y. That's the standard thing. And then it says trend type. So in our purposes, we learn about different types of functions: linear, exponential, logarithmic, polynomial, power. So they're all there. Just to show you, a polynomial of degree 2 would be polynomial, and then you have to like fill in the order number there. You actually have to type that in. But in our cases, in our situation here, this is just a linear trend line. So I'm choosing linear, and I'm not going to mess with any of this stuff. I just want to scroll down and see where it says equation and values. Again, that's kind of grayed out, so you have to select that, and you have to make sure that display equation on chart is selected. So we want to make sure that the actual equation is going to be displayed on the chart, and it just appeared when I clicked on that radio button. um, if that's what it's called. And again, you can kind of like, this is kind of small, so you can, you know, make that a bigger font size. So let me X out of this and see if we can't just select that. Oh, there it is. So it looks like you can't do the font size from the main file menu. You have to go down here and select a larger font size if you want it to be bigger. So I went ahead and did that. And you can even choose the font type that it is. So everything is done in the chart format menu over here on the right. Okay, so that's the difference between Office 365 Excel versus the Excel that you might have if you've installed Office as a standalone desktop application. So like, subscribe, comment down below if you have any comments to or questions to ask. Please make sure you share these videos with people if you think that they might find them helpful. And I'll see you in the next video.